That's enough, Akaza. This is the same person. A villain so brutal he is fierce across the demon and demon slayers. Who destroys himself the moment he remembers who he really is. What kind of demon does that? When we first meet Akaza, he does something that seems purely villainous. He systematically targets the weak to clear his path to the strong. Our immediate reaction: this is an evil incarnation, a monster who enjoys terrorizing the helpless before moving to his real prey. But then we discover the truth behind his hatred. In his human life as Hakuji, it was weak, cowardly people who committed the ultimate betrayal. They poisoned his beloved master and the woman he loved. Not out of strength or honor, but out of pity jealousy. To Akaza, weakness becomes synonymous with cowardness, betrayal, and evil. In his fractured mind, eliminating the weak isn't cruelty, it's preventing future betrayals. But watch what happens when he encounters the true strength. He shows respect to it. When he encounters Rengoku, the strongest one at the scene, he offers Rengoku immortality immediately, not as an insult, but as the highest honor he can give. Think about this. What other beloved character refuses easy victories and only seeks worthy challenges? That is Goku from the Dragon Ball series. We celebrate these exact traits in heroes: the desire to test yourself against equals or greater ones, to grow through honorable combats. Here is the final piece. Doma reveals Akaza is weak compared to other upper moons because he refuses to eat women. This moral choice literally keeps him from reaching his full demonic potential. So answer me this. What kind of villain only seeks fair fights against worthy opponents? What kind of demon refuses to eat innocents at cost of his own power? The answer is simple. No monster does that. No villain does that. No demon does that. Only a hero does. Here is the irony that will break your heart. One of the Akaza's signature abilities is called compass needles. It always points him towards his stronger opponents by sensing their fighting spirit. His compass works perfectly. It points exactly where it should be. But what happens when the compass itself gets moved to the wrong starting point? You end up going to the right direction from the wrong place entirely. Hakuji wasn't born evil. He was born into impossible circumstances. Stealing wasn't a choice, it was a survival. Medicine for his dying father, food for another day. Morally wrong? Yes. But his heart was never dark. After his father's death, Hakuji becomes an unstoppable force, but a directionless one. A raw power with no purpose is like a compass spinning wildly without magnetic north. Then everything changed. Kaizo becomes his true north, the master who didn't just teach him how to fight, but how to live. For the first time, Hakuji's compass had direction. And Kyoki, she wasn't just his love, she was his anchor to humanity, the reason his strength mattered. His compass finally pointed towards something worth protecting. But then, his North Star died. His anchor was severed and his compass shattered. When your moral compass breaks, it doesn't stop working. It points in the wrong direction. His compass now pointed towards the one thing: revenge. And he followed it with the same intensity he once used to protect. 67 people dead by his hand. If even one of his beloved one had survived, just one, he would have had reason to find his way back to humanity. But with both gone, his compass had nothing left to point toward. This is the moment when Muzan found him. Not at his strongest, but at his most broken. Not a villain seeking power, but a hero who had lost everything worth protecting. Muzan didn't corrupt Hakuji, he redirected him. The same heroic drive, the same desperate need to become stronger, the same compass. But now in pointing towards the Muzan schools instead of his own. Akaza isn't a fallen hero, he is displaced hero. His compass was never broken, just moved towards a different path, and with wrong master. And somewhere deep inside, it's still trying to point him towards the home. The question is, what happens when displaced compass finally finds its true north again? After centuries of being Upper Moon 3, Akaza faces something he's never experienced: defeat. But it's not loss that breaks him. It's Tanjiro's words. Words about protecting people you love, about bonds that transcends death, about strength through connection. Words that strike something buried deep in his soul. When his head falls, Akaza asks himself a simple question. I lost a fair and square. I am weak. But those words, I am weak, unlock something that's been sealed away for centuries. Suddenly, the floodgates opens. Memories that have been locked away since his transformation comes rushing back. Not just images, but feelings, love, purpose. And for the first time in the centuries, two souls that rest in one bodies. That is Akaza, the bloodthirsty upper moon who lives for the battle, and Hakuji, the gentle protector who died for the loved one. This isn't the battle between good and evil. It's an identity crisis at the soul level. Who is the real? The demon who existed for the centuries? Or the human whose memory just returned? But here is the psychological truth. This fracture didn't happen randomly. When Akuji lost everything he loved, the trauma was so severe it shattered his sense of self. Muzan's transformation didn't just change his body, it completed the psychological split. The human memories aren't just returning, they are reclaiming him. Every act of violence Akaza committed becomes unbearable to Hakuji. Every life taken contradicts everything he once stood for. So here is the moment of truth. To complete identity is fighting over control of one's soul. The demon who found strength through destruction, and the human who found the strength through protection. But this isn't really a fight at all, because Hakuji realized something devastating. Akaza was never a separate being. He was just Hakuji's heroic drive, twisted and misdirected by trauma and amnesia. The compass didn't break, it just forgot what it's supposed to protect. And when you remember who you really are, when your fractured soul finally becomes whole again, how do you live with that broken pieces? The answer will show us what true heroism really looks like. The memories have returned. Hakuji, the devoted student, the loving fiancé, is fully awake. But so is Akaza, Upper Moon 3, Muzan's weapons for centuries. Two complete identities, two different moral codes, two paths forward. His human compass points towards the redemption, but Muzan's voice screams for him to embrace his demonic nature. Imagine every memory you have lost returning at a single moment. Every person you loved, every life you have taken, every choice that led you here, all crashing into your consciousness at once. Here is the moment that defines everything. Akaza has the power to regenerate, to keep fighting. He could choose the path of destruction he has walked over for centuries. But watch what he does. His hands don't reach out for the enemies. They reach for her, for Koyuki, for the love that defined his humanity. In choosing lover over violence, Hakuji reclaims his soul. This isn't just remembering who he was, it's choosing who he wants to be. And then comes the ultimate heroic act. He doesn't just stop fighting, he actively destroys himself. Not from despair, but from love. That's enough, Akaza. The words that started our journey. His beloved one telling him he's fought long enough, suffered long enough, been lost long enough. This is what true heroism looks like. Not for the glory of victory, but the courage to face what you have become and choose something better, even if the choice cost you everything. In his final moment, the fractured hero becomes complete. Not Akaza the demon, not just Hakuji the human, but someone who chose love over power, redemption over survival, peace over endless battle. The displaced compass has found his true north. The broken piece have become whole, and the hero who was lost for centuries has finally found his way to home. Akaza teaches us the most profound truth about heroism. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is knowing when to let go. Sometimes the ultimate victory is choosing not to fight anymore. Not all heroes get to live happily ever after, but the greatest ones, they get to die as who they really are. Thank you for watching. Straw Frame.